whenever I have to camp for an area, I just feel so bad and weird because I know exactly how every other survivor is feeling in that match when I camp as a raider.
So, in my opinion, that mentality is not helpful.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jojo Prize.
And Double D?
And Double D done goofed up.
No, I did. With that, we're scratching that. It's all good.
All right, we're not talking about it. Maybe one day I'll talk about it in another episode or something.
Okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, I just pressed the like button. Big deal.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, OBS has this goofy thing where the start streaming button and the start recording button are like right next to each other. And you know what? It happened to me. This was a while ago, but I accidentally clicked start streaming, but I quickly stopped streaming, so it didn't even count it being in Twitch at all. So I was fast enough, but unfortunately, Double D.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was only 30 seconds, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, we were scared, man, or I was scared specifically because what if the viewers saw the juice and how it was made? You know what I mean? So anyways, moving on to Breakers, one of my favorite games, the most beloved game that has... Oh my god, I can't keep up that act. It's a game, okay, that I play a lot, that we play a lot, and one of the topics that I want to tackle here is who are, like, the best level raiders, because I did make a tier list a while ago. Did you make a raider tier list, Double D?
I did indeed. I did.
You did. Yeah, you need to show me your tier list because I haven't seen yours yet. But for mine, I'll probably show it up on the screen real quick. What were you saying?
I believe I still have my tier list available. Let me have a quick look.
Alright, you do that. But I based the levels of the raiders off of their general use, right? Not solely just their damage. I try my best to look at every level as how they are and how much evo they gain as well, especially their evo gain. I think their evo gain is like a major importance to that specific level. And I'm gonna have to pull up my tier list as well. So
I sent you my one.
Alright, fantastic. A lot of people, I think, agree with my tier list mostly. And
you're obviously going to get people who disagree.
Yeah, obviously. But fortunately for me, a lot of people just agree, so I will obviously focus on the agreed part. Right? And yeah, our list is actually kind of similar. Kind of. Yeah, our list is kind of similar. I'll be sure to show it on screen for you guys. Just so do like a little comparison with both of our tier lists. And a lot of things that people misinterpret are the level 1s on the Raider tier list. Do you agree with me on that, Double D?
This inherently goes down to whether or not you take the evolution time into consideration. If you just look at the basic abilities and basic functionality, I think most of us can come to an agreement, but if you take the evolution time aspect, then people start to disagree.
And how so? Can you give me an example?
Well, for example, like we talked about before with Frieza. So if you don't take the evolution time into account, then you could argue Frieza is one of the strongest level 1s. He can go around, he has a scouter, he has a really long range, he can do a lot. But if you then take the evolution time into account, because he needs so many civs, survivors, Namekians, etc., people will then downgrade him a lot and say he's not actually that good versus Lava Cell, who only needs 2 survivors to level up.
Or just one and just wait like, what, 30 seconds for the Evo to completely proc?
It depends if you have it maxed out or not, but yeah, generally yes.
Yeah, generally. Yeah, that's the oddball, right? That to me, I think level 1s are the oddball, right? Because Like you said, Frieza level 1 is a fantastic level 1. But that depends on the playstyle. If you go aggressive with Frieza level 1, you actually ignore civvies, right? You ignore civvies and actually try to attack the survivors, and where they spawn at in the beginning of the match, you're a menace. You could snipe them, like you said. You could snipe them across the map. He has really good scouts. He has really good super miniature death slash. And you could plan like that. Or, in another way, you do look for civvies, but I guess prey on RNG that you find like two Namekians without a Dragon Ball. Because if you kill a Namekian without a Dragon Ball, for those of you that don't know, you get much more Evo than you normally gain from killing like a human civilian or a Namekian with a Dragon Ball. But that's too RNG based. So that's when you kind of have to adjust your gameplay as you go. And that's why level 1s are very interesting. Again, for example, like Larva Cell. You just need 2 civvies or just 1 civvy and just wait it out. And the reason why Larva Cell is like so high tier in a lot of these tier lists, right, is because you know, he's the freest level in the game. He's absolutely free. You're never gonna really engage with other survivors unless you actively go out of your way to look for survivor players, I mean. And overall, he's solid. And by the ungodly situation that you do find yourself in, encountering a survivor with D-Change as Larva Cell, you do insane damage, you're pretty fast, you have a pretty solid vanishing move. Though you can easily be punched, you take easy damage, so you have to kind of play your movement right. So, yeah, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, all right. But yeah, in a general sense, a lot of the level 1s are pretty high up there, mostly because of how easy they just get to the next level. And then that's when we can go on a different discussion about level 2, 3s, and 4s and how they play, how much Evo they gain, or like what can you do against survivors.
So, based on that, if you believe that we should take Evo into account, do you think we've rated Frieza level 1 a bit too high?
That's actually a pretty good question.
Yeah, because yes, he's a menace. Yes, he can go around and be aggressive from the beginning. But to get enough survivors to go level 2 is not easy. And if you're unlucky or the survivors are good, you're basically stuck as level 1 because Frieza doesn't have an auto evolve. Frieza needs to be beaten the hell up to evolve. And most survivors nowadays know not to do that. Frieza's the only raider where survivors go out of their way to not fight unless they absolutely have to.
Well, I do want to say, I sorry to cut you off if you were going to continue, but I do want to say that level 1 Friezas, good Friezas in general, you'll never really encounter their level 1. They have to have really bad RNG to not get past level 1 Frieza in the first like 3 minutes of the match. So I don't know. I don't want to. Well, to me, I think the Evo gain on Frieza level 1 is fine. Again, you need really bad RNG. You need really bad RNG to not get out of Frieza level 1 the first like 3 to 4 minutes.
That's actually quite a lot, in my opinion. If you need 4 minutes to get out of level 1, I think you're in trouble.
Well, sorry to cut you off again, but I don't know. Frieza gains Evo from like beating his ass. Frieza gains Evo from summoning. And yeah, actually, you might be right. Actually, I think level 3 to 4 minutes is a little too much. I think in the first like 2 minutes, if you don't have level 2, then you might be in an odd spot. Obviously, depending on the match, if they found the keys, how many Dragon Balls, etc., etc. If you have the Dragon Balls, a lot of variants are coming into play. So yeah, I think I might backpedal here and say maybe like the first minute or two. If you're not past level 1, then it's going to be a little bit iffy.
So here's the thing. So if we are agreeing that a good Frieza is going to immediately look for civilians to go to level 2, doesn't that mean that we have to ignore his entire kit and his abilities because he's only going for civilians? Besides maybe his scouter?
Well, here's the beauty of level 1 Frieza. Again, he's A tier for a reason on my list, and your list as well.
Yeah.
You have a option to go after survivors, and when you do, you have the right kit, the right supers to do it. You have the scouts, you have the super, you have the laser beam. It goes really far. So it's up to the player if they want to either go for civvies or go for survivors, which they can easily do because of how good Frieza level 1 is. But most of the time, it's just easier, less stressful, less mind play. You just go for civvies. Because again, if RNG's on your side, you'll find like a good, like 1 or 2 Namekians to get you like close to level 1, and then maybe like a Namekian with a Dragon Ball or a civvy. And again, like I said, you need bad RNG to not find the right amount of civvies.
Yeah. One more reason which I didn't mention when I made this tier list that actually moves Frieza from a B tier to an A tier for me.
Yeah.
Is that he has a very good chance of actually having a Dragon Ball before hitting level 2.
That I didn't think of that. Yeah.
The unique ability. Yeah. So if he manages to get to level 2 and hold on to a Dragon Ball, he is in a decent position, which a lot of raiders aren't when they reach level 2.
Yeah, and to back up your point, Frieza level 1 is pretty much made to fight. He is made to fight. He has one of the best melees in the game. He has one of the best sniping key spams in the game. He has really good assists. And if you beat his ass, okay, sure, you'll grab the Dragon Balls, but you'll actually most likely give him free Evo to the point where he gets level 2. So even more of a reason why Frieza level 1 is pretty up there in A tier, if not high A tier.
Yeah, no, I agree. Frieza is the only raider that will never be overpowered, but never be bad because of that passive ability that he has.
Exactly. I mean, if you take Spopovich and Larva Cell, okay, I was gonna say for example, but that wouldn't be really an example. But Spopovich and Larva Cell are not kitted out like Frieza level 1. They're just not. They're not made for combat. They're made for specifically Spopovich level 1. He's specifically made to do a little bit of combat, but not really to kill survivors. More to just get a little bit of juice from them if you land a hit here and there, or make them waste their D change. But you want to, with Larva Cell, Cyberman. Oh, Cyberman is an oddball. But with Larva Cell, Spopovich, you'll want to go for civvies. Frieza, you could go for civvies, or you could go for survivors. Because Frieza, again, is like kitted for that kind of stuff, that kind of gameplay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I consider Cyber and Spopo to be stealth raiders. So they want to, like, Cyber wants to like get a sneak attack on a survivor and potentially get a free evolution.
Of course.
For Spopo, you want to go for civs, but on the odd chance, send out Yamu to get an extra bit of Evo here and there if they manage.
Or I might be so bold here and say that if you're like really that good at Spopovich, which, by the way, not a lot of people know how to fight with Spopovich. If you know how to fight with Spopovich, you could get a down or two. You could get a down, and you can take that Evo. That is like the freest Evo Spopovich can ever take, and he should take it.
He should if he can, but that will only work if he puts on pressure immediately. So he has to have a good spawn. He has to know where the survivor spawn points on. He has to immediately put pressure, ignoring everything else. Because if he's going to down someone, he has to do it while they're still at level 0.
Yeah, if they have level 1, then I mean, I guess the best thing you did is make them waste D-Change. That's it. I would not commit to anyone that isn't D-Change as Spopovich. Just make them use their D-Change and just walk away. Because then they're put down, they're down a fighter. They try to fight you.
Most likely, if they're trying to invalidate you as Spopo, then yes, I think wasting their D-Change is good. If, however, it's for the long term, the long fight, wasting the D change doesn't really account to much.
Oh, you're
because
talking
they're
about
gonna
Spapo Gaming.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh yeah, that
I mean,
I feel like Spapo Gaming is like a completely different discussion. It's a fun one to talk about.
It's a fun one, but yeah, like most Spopo gamers who put pressure on survivors at the very beginning are Spopo gamers.
Yeah, even if
You-
they're
you
playing
don't-
normal Majin Buu. Yeah, Raider.
Even if they're playing normally, you very rarely see a Spopovich immediately go to a survivor spawn. It's very rare.
Yeah, and when I fought against good Spopoviches before, and when they do know your spawn, you better get the hell out of there like fast before they trap you somewhere where they remove your battery, because Yamu is an insanely good assist, and if he has good traction of you, you're gonna have to deal with him and Spopovich.
Yeah,
Scary
that's
thing.
the problem. Yeah, because you can keychain both Yamus to get downed and stun locked before you can actually transform.
Yep.
If you time it right.
Oh wait,
So
repeat that again.
There, if you use both Yamus within the right time frame, if you catch a survivor off guard, you can actually down them because they'll be stun locked and they won't be able to transform.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've only seen it happen once, but it's a thing that can be done. So you always have to be careful if you know you're facing against a good Spopovich, because survivors are trained to hear the heartbeat before they react.
Of course.
But with Spopovich, because he sends Yamu, who comes in flying pretty quick, if you will get hit without realizing it, and then by then it's too late.
Yeah. That's Spopovich is pretty scary if they know how to fight with Spopovich.
Yeah, it can be truly scary, especially on the right map as well.
Yeah, like Waterfront. Waterfront is like the smallest map, and if the Spopovich knows your spawn point and you hear the heartbeat immediately, or you see Yamu in the distance, just know that Spopovich is coming right to you. If Yamu's like charging at you, might as well get out of there. Go to another different area. Make him waste time chasing you.
Also on Snowy Mountain, if you spawn at E as the raider, you can get to C in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, and there's usually
immediately start attacking.
Yep, there's literally like 2 survivors there that like I'm pretty sure most of the time don't have the juice to get level 1 when you're that close.
Yeah, you can either down survivors or they'll have to flee, and then you're in Civ heaven because you're in C. You can then go to D and then B. You're guaranteed innocent boo at that point. It's a free evolution.
Yeah, you need bad RNG with that. I'm gonna say that a lot. You need bad RNG to like not get free evo. I mean, unless they like actively stun you and bother you, and then someone like sneaks in and get the civvy, but that's getting into very deep specifics.
That's that's high level gameplay.
Yeah, that is high level gameplay. I need to stop thinking like that. and it's not every matchup you get high level game players, you know.
Very true.
But going back to Cybermen real quick, I think Cybermen is like a pretty meh level 1. But he excels in stealth. He's like one of the best stealthing raiders in general, in my opinion, compared to like Cell or Spopovich. Mostly because Cyberman doesn't fly, right? He doesn't fly, so he makes 0 noise going anywhere. So a lot of things you could do with Cybermen is you can actually wall kick, and you're completely dead silent when you wall kick.
Yeah.
God forbid you have plus 20 wall kick. That means you can zoom across the map and be silent. So you don't need to do like a ninja Cyberman where you go high up in the air and then you just vanish in the air. Just so you keep your momentum in the air. You can just wall kick everywhere you go and catch someone by surprise by going high up and then just dropping straight down. And you want to know what's hilarious about Cyberman? He has this really annoying but goofy mechanic where if the raider is close to you and you hear the heartbeat, your character, as soon as you dechange, your character will stand still like an idiot and you'll just do some dumb pose, and Cyberman is right there in front of you, and you get down because of it. All he needs to do is just shoot gum at you, and you're done for. Or just stand right next to you and just grab you.
Yeah, that's a very inconsistent, which I'm gonna call bug at this point.
They should just remove the pose.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand why the pose is a thing. I mean, they eliminated it for the key planting, which
And the
was
key
absolutely
pickup.
necessary. Yeah, and the key pickup as well. They need to remove it for the transformations. I don't know why it's a thing. You lose time when you need to get on the STM. You lose time when you need to run away from the raider. It's just silly.
You lose distance from running away from the raider if you were running away.
Yeah, it's. I don't understand why they haven't realized that it's something that needs to be an option, like it is with the key. If you stand still, it does the key animation, but if you move, it cancels it. It should be the same for the animation, the transformation.
Well, I think they should just change it to make it so that you still see the transfers as silhouette, but not when you're posing. Like make the silhouette still be there, I guess, while we can freely move. Because the silhouettes do look cool. I do like the animation for it, but not when we're in a heated situation, in like a life or death situation where, you know, you gain so much distance, and guess what? You pose like a freaking idiot, and they're right in front of your face. You lose all that momentum, all that distance, and now what? Now you need to gain all that distance again. Very annoying.
Yeah, it can be, but there's nothing we can do. It's just part of Breakers at the moment.
I mean, surely I think they will change it. I mean, like you said, they changed the key animation. They changed the key animation pickup. Best case is they also not only changed the stupid pose, but they also removed the Dragon Ball pickup animation. What do you think about that? You think that'll be insane?
That would be glorious, but I don't think they will, because they need to keep the noise indication that it makes around the map when you find a Dragon Ball. That needs to remain, and that's why we have the pickup animation. So that it lets everyone know, including the raider, that a ball was found.
You want to bring that back?
I mean that's still in.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the raider, you don't hear the raider picking up a Dragon Ball unless it's Frieza killing a Namekian with the Dragon Ball.
You definitely hear it with Frieza, so I presume you hear it with all the other raiders.
No, you don't. I'm pretty sure you don't.
Actually, no. Now that I think about it, is it only Frieza?
Yeah, it's only. I swear, it's only Frieza that makes the pickup animation for getting a Dragon Ball. When he kills a Namekian, when he picks up a Dragon Ball from a chest, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so odd.
There are no Dragon Balls in chests when Frieza's a raider, so...
No, there are.
No. All Dragon Balls are all on Namekians when Frieza's the raider.
Wait, really?
That's the gimmick, yeah.
Well, I thought only like...
Dragon Balls in chests.
I assumed only a few Dragon Balls, not all 7 are on Namekians.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there are exactly 7 Namekians. No, actually, not exactly 7, sorry, that's a lie. No, I'm pretty sure that all Dragon Balls are on Namekians. I think there are maybe 10. I think there are 10 Namekians and 5 humans, and 7 of the 10 Namekians have Dragon Balls.
Really? I gotta do a little bit of research, man. Here I am with 1.3k hours in the game, and I don't even know this shit. What the hell?
I mean, I got the whole Dragon Ball picking up thing wrong. I completely forgot that it's only Frieza that has the noise.
Yeah, every other raider does not have 0 pickup noise.
You're right. Yeah. If they change the Dragon Ball pickup animation, that would probably mean removing the noise indication, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Nah, they're not gonna remove the noise notification.
I mean, if they keep the notification, then can they remove the pose?
I don't know. I think the pose is different from the Dragon. I think the pickup animation for the pickup sound and animation for the Dragon Balls. I think because the Dragon Balls are like an important mechanic in a match.
Yeah.
So as for the keys, they're also pretty important, but I don't know. That's a toughie to think about.
I mean, it's true. They can keep the sound but remove the animation. That is true. I was linking them, but yeah, I would be in favor of removing the animation.
Yeah,
In general.
the pickup
I
animation
think-
for Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In my opinion, any sort of animation involving a pickup should be removed. Even the key pickup animation, I would like gladly removed. It's
Wait, is it already
it's just
removed?
Well, it's not removed, but you can cut it short. So, like, if you pick it up and then immediately continue moving, it will cut the animation short.
Ah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still there. Like, the moment the camera changes angle and zooms in onto the key,
Yeah.
you're stuck in that frame for like maybe half a second. Then you can move.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it is shorter, but it's still there.
Personally, I don't really mind it, but yeah, I wouldn't mind it being removed. My main concern is mostly the Dragon Ball pickup stuff animation.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I hate the Dragon Ball animation and the key animation is because in most cases it doesn't matter. But if you're getting blasted by the raider, you want to get in and out as soon as possible.
Obviously.
And so obviously that animation is going to cost you like a few good hits, especially if they're key spamming. So I would like that personally removed, because if the raider is key camping, which they do sometimes, someone's going to have to dive in to get that key. So that person is going to get attacked and blasted until they get it. And that key pickup could cost you a down.
Well, again, picking up the key is like not. It's only like a very short frame. That's the thing.
It is, but it's still there. It's still an extra thing. It's like you open the chest and then you have to wait an extra bit for that small animation and then you can leave.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I suppose so. Yeah, since like every second counts, in a game like this, literally.
Yeah. So, and even if it's a Dragon Ball, if you know the last Dragon Ball is there, you have to go in, open the chest, pick up the ball, do the animation, and then leave.
Yeah, the Dragon Balls is worse than that. Far worse.
Yeah.
You look at it for like a second like a moron, and then you're happy about it, and then you gotta dip. And then next thing you know, the Raider melees you, you're in a stun lock, he knocks you down at the ground level, and now you gotta think fast.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It is very annoying.
To say the least.
I also want. I actually now call me crazy here. What do you think of a mechanic for Raider, right? Because we're talking about a lot of Survivor stuff. What are your thoughts on, like, do you know how the Raider can actually find the key, right? You think the Raider could maybe pick it up as well?
Yeah, I actually thought about this.
Yeah, they could like pick it up, and maybe it's like very obvious they picked one up. It's like on their back or some shit, or in their hands maybe, depending on whoever it is.
I mean, they can do that. See, the funny thing is, I'm a Breakers nerd, okay? And by a nerd, I mean I actually go to sleep and I'm actually thinking of what I would change in Breakers every day.
Damn,
so
you're a developer, man, please.
So I actually spend like an hour in bed just thinking about these things before I fall asleep. So I've thought of a lot of things, and Raiders picking up keys is actually one I thought of. So what I would think would be nice is the Raider can pick up a key, but they can only pick up one.
Yes. Yeah, exactly that.
And they cannot drop it willingly.
Ooh.
Because
okay, so yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
So like, because if they had the ability to drop it, they would just go to the corner of a map, drop it there, and hide it. And if you don't have a key radar, which a lot of people don't, they're never gonna find it. Because there are a lot more Dragon Ball radars than key radars. So if the radar hides a Dragon Ball, you have a better chance of finding it because there are a lot more a lot more Dragon Ball radars. But if a radar hides a key, good luck.
Yeah.
So I think Raiders should have the ability to pick up a key, but they cannot drop it. And the survivors have to deplete the knockback gauge for him to drop it. And once the survivor picks it up, it's gone. The Raider can't pick it up again.
It's
already used.
That is a fantastic mechanic.
Yeah.
Do you think thinking about it, you think it'll mess up the gameplay in general, the flow of gameplay on how it is nowadays? What do you think?
It would definitely help the raiders.
Definitely, they could use the help.
Yeah, I think it would invite a lot. It would make Frieza a lot stronger
Definitely.
because that would mean ganking up on Frieza for him to drop the key, so it increases evolution. So Frieza would definitely be stronger.
Mhm.
It will help prolong the game, but I don't think that by itself will change too much. But it will prolong the game in general, in my opinion. It's a nice mechanic. It does help all survivors. It will help Frieza quite a bit. But I don't think the fundamental aspect of the game will change too much just from this one thing. Because raiders...
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. Because all raiders besides Frieza will get ganked on at some point or another.
Right.
So if they have a key, they will end up dropping it. Only in few cases where the raider doesn't get ganked or it's Frieza, where you avoid ganking him, will you see a big enough difference. So this would need some balancing and tweaking, because doing just this one change, it's hard to tell. But I would like to see it implemented, although this will encourage zone camping a lot more.
That's what I was about to say. I think if that mechanic came through, I think that would make area camping like 10 times much more harder, because they don't really need the key, right? They don't need the key to camp the area. They could just leave the key alone if they wanted to, and then just camp the area that way, whether they picked up the key or not. So allowing the raider to be able to pick up the key, that might cause for disaster.
Well, the thing is, it gives the raider some insurance. He knows he can leave the area and go and hunt without worrying about them finding the key to finish the zone.
Yeah, but
so
why
he
would
has that insurance?
Yeah, but why would he leave the area with the key on him?
Because he knows he has the key, so they can't find it. So he doesn't have to stay in the zone and let's say it's a group of coordinated survivors, okay?
Right.
They have one area left, and they're waiting to get their D-change back so they can all gank the raider. In most of the situations now, the raider has no choice but to stay in the zone and just wait for the gank, because if he leaves, the key will get found and done.
Right.
But if the raider has the key, he can then go to the survivors before they get D-change and put pressure.
Ah. Okay.
You see the difference?
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Okay, but in order for this mechanic to actually be a thing, they have to change it so that you only need to do 4 out of the 5 keys to bring down the STM. Because then otherwise, Breakers will just turn into a key camping fiasco.
Yeah.
So they need to change it to where you only need to do 4 out of the 5, so then if the raider camps 1, the other one is available. I would only do the key implementation if I do this other implementation alongside it.
So wait, but wouldn't that make the raider picking up the key irrelevant? Since they just so there's 5 areas. Let's say the raider has 1 key, and all they need to do is just 4 keys. So what's the point of the raider having the key then?
Well, if the raider has a key for one zone and then goes to the other zone to prevent them from planting it, what the survivors can then do is coordinate to make the raider drop the key, pick it up, and then the raider has to decide which zone is he going to try and protect. It requires a bit more strategizing, which is what I like. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, that's actually a pretty neat mechanic. Again, it sounds like a good mechanic, but who knows? What if it's not that they'll actually execute this plan, but you know, in a perfect world where we can test this,
I think that kind of mechanic would require some
Testing?
yeah, a lot of testing because
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring this back, but the new players, right? The
Mhm.
new players and just casual players, what are they gonna think of this mechanic? That just means they're gonna have to strategize a lot more. And
Yeah.
admittedly, from my experience, I don't want to say that my experience is above everyone else's experience, but I'm just saying, in my experience, coordination in teams is hit or miss with
Mhm.
quite a few matches. If you play the game as long as I have, you will know what
Yeah.
I mean, right? It's
Yeah.
it's all RNG on your teammates. If your teammates are
Yeah.
good, then yes, this idea sounds really, really good. But if
Mhm.
your team is, lower level or like casual players that aren't as high level, what do they
Mhm.
think of the mechanic? How is it gonna play out when they play it like that? Because if the raider picks up a key, they're gonna need quite a bit of coordination for that kind of situation to spark up.
Well,
That's
don't
assuming
forget,
yeah, go on.
yeah, that again, we have to assume that the raider finds a key, which is going to be rare. Unless he has a key radar, he's gonna need to be
Of
very
course.
lucky to even have a key. So you won't come across the situation that often.
I actually kind of
But-
disagree with that. If that mechanic gets introduced, of course everyone that plays Raider is gonna like try to implement that key idea into their own gameplay, right?
That's true.
It
but
just makes
What are
sense.
you sacrificing? You're sacrificing looking for civs, looking for survivors. So you're sacrificing your own progression to key camp? You think that's a good idea?
No, I'm not saying the key cam. It's like so you obviously you play the game for a long time. You know how Raider gameplay is normally, right? You spawn in an area, you get civvies, you level up, you
Yeah.
destroy an area, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
I am confident with within the player base that they will be able to figure something out to implement that kind of gameplay. Again, this idea seems very optional for the Raider. Very optional. I'm not saying that they have to do this mechanic, but it's an option that I think will be encouraged for a lot of Raiders to do and practice. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
go on.
I'm not against it. I'm not against them practicing because, like you said, this is an option. This shouldn't be just a random gimmick that's there for just the lols. This should actually be an option if you're being pressured, if they're
Of course.
key rushing, if they're Dragon Ball rushing, you need to find a way to try and bring it back.
Exactly.
And I think this gives the Raiders that option, which I think should be a thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I think it's fine if people begin to if they want to, it's entirely up to them. If they want to decide to waste a little bit of time in maybe hopefully finding a radar or like a radar and then a key radar, or by some godly miracle a key radar by itself, then if they have that, then that's when they can do like proper practice of that mechanic. But like you said, that mechanic is very situational and very optional, but it's a good optional backup, because like what do the Raiders have, right? What do the Raiders have? They a lot of times have to resort to very weird gameplay. Like, for example, they like you brought up this example. There are quite a few scenarios where the Raider just has to stay in an area. They have to camp these bodies out within that area they're guarding. They have to hard gatekeep this one area, right? And sometimes they're really good Raiders, and they just waste everything. And now what do you have? What do the Raiders have? They could just wait out the timer.
Yeah.
And why would they leave the area? So yeah, once this mechanic gets practiced, I want this mechanic to get practiced enough so that once it's applied in normal gameplay, then we'll see very interesting results. Whether you're a new player, a casual, a fucking no life like me in this game,
yeah,
the results will definitely be very interesting. But then again, at the end of the day, You really think Dips will listen to this podcast and bring that idea to
No.
light?
No, I don't.
It's always nice to daydream, but
Yeah.
I'm actually curious. I hope people in the comments like give their take about this one. This one I actually want to hear other people think about that idea. The fact that raiders can actually pick up a key and hold on to it. I wonder what other people would think about it.
I would like it mostly for randoms to have stamps dedicated to different situations that they can use. Because right now, most of the stamps we have are random. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have the Dragon Ball stamp, the Vegeta pointing at himself stamp, the high stamp. These are all random, but some of them actually serve a purpose in game. But I would like them to actually make stamps that are meant to like communicate with the rest of the group in game if you're playing with randoms.
Yeah. A prime example is the Dragon Ball stamps.
Yeah. The Dragon Ball stamps, meaning we have all 7 Dragon Balls.
Mm-hmm.
Another one which is used a lot is the Vegeta holding the Dragon Ball stamp, which we use now to show that the Raider has a Dragon Ball. I don't know if you use that one at all.
No, that costs TP tokens.
Yeah, I actually spent TP just because of how useful that stamp is.
You know what? Maybe I should get that.
So I would like it if they had stamps dedicated to different situations. So like I would love to see, you know, like a young Goku sleeping in a tent to signify the Raiders camping.
Yeah. Or Goku like on a fire with like a big fish in his hand.
Yeah, like literally just camping. Just these sort of things. I would like, if we can't communicate in game, then I would like us to have stamps to then replicate that.
Let me one up you on that. You know
Yeah.
how your character actually speaks?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on allowing us to actually use voice lines of our own characters to communicate on top of the stamp communication?
I thought about that. That would also be a great idea.
Not like spam it through like intercom. Like you have to actually be near each other, like proximity to talk to each other. Like, dude, you have like, oh man, I don't know if you do this, but whenever I do my best to communicate with my teammates. So for example, if there's like a ping somewhere across the map and I'm walking up to someone, I have like 5 Dragon Balls, they have 1. I would go up to them, click go to the ping and hope to God it says the right voice lines. Like for example, may I have that? And then communicate to them like, may I have the Dragon Balls on you? So that they actually like pay attention to me more and like think as though I'm like actually talking to them, kinda in a way, like communicating with them.
Yeah.
I
would agree.
I don't want to do like extra steps to like communicate. Why do I have to do extra steps to communicate with my own teammate that are also in the same fight with me? You know?
Yeah.
So if we can add voice lines, that'd be fantastic. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's good. I would like it so that rather to make it more simple, just have it so that each stamp comes with its own voice line. So if you spam a stamp, you'll be like Dragon Balls or something like that. We have the Dragon Balls or something, and then the other one could be like the Raider has a Dragon Ball.
Ooh, that's gonna cost Dips money though.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to hire bring those people back to say those voice lines. I don't think there's a
they don't. No, they can have it so it's our own CAC's voice that says the line. It doesn't have to be whoever the stamp represents. So
I think
so they only have 4 voice lines. Just bring those 4 people to come back and do them.
Okay. Again, I still think that they're going to be very reluctant on paying actors again for brand new, fresh new voice lines, but
I mean,
know.
Let's be honest. They can find someone on the street who'd do it for free.
Oh,
I mean,
I do it for free. Dude, fucking fly me over. I'll voice that shit. I swear to God, I will.
Yeah, I know. It's a great idea. And obviously, this would be very survivor-sided. So this would make survivors stronger.
Oh,
so
yeah,
a good way
definitely.
So a good way to counter it would be that if the raid is close enough, they can hear you talking.
That's pretty simple. Yeah.
Yeah. So
if
I
they
think
hear,
that would be a good way.
Yeah, if they hear you say the the Raider has a Dragon Ball and you actually do have a Dragon Ball, you can prep yourself and think, oh god, these guys are actually might try to jump me together, so I think I should keep my distance from those people that were saying that. Maybe.
Yeah, and also if the Raider can hear them, then they also can find where they are and down them if needed. Because he has to be fairly close to hear them. Yeah, so I think it's a good balance between the two. But I do believe that there needs to be a better form of communication between randoms in a game.
Yeah, please, because it's so hard to like signal random teammates to like, guys, the Dragon Ball is right there. Guys, the Raider has the Dragon Ball. Guys, let's place the time key piece. That's one thing that's one thing I really wish they added. I'm still waiting to this day that they add a freaking key stamp. They added the Dragon Ball stamp. They added the Vegeta holding a Dragon Ball stamp that clearly shows that Vegeta is the Raider, aka the Raider has the Dragon Ball. Why the heck can't they add a key stamp? That would make communicating literally 10 times better. Just the key stamp alone.
Yeah, it would.
For sure. I hope they implement these changes because admittedly, knowing them, they're probably not.
No, I just can't see them. I don't see them change. They haven't changed any of the fundamentals of the game since release.
None at all. I mean, maybe like a few changes here and there.
I mean, what have they changed? Like they've done balance changes. Sure, they've added new raiders, new maps, but what have they changed fundamentally?
I guess the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, I literally just thought about it.
Yeah,
probably the Dragon Balls.
But that's neither. I mean, that's a pretty big change, but I wouldn't say that's like a game-changing change.
No, because if you just leave the Dragon Balls again, they'll spawn in random areas like they did in Season 1. So it's not a fundamental change to the game.
People remember where the Dragon Balls spawn at, so we can adapt if they change it. If they actually do like game-changing effects, we can adapt.
Yeah,
we did it once, we can do it again.
And the funny thing is, like, even in Season 1, when the Dragon Balls spread out, because we had memorized all of the areas that they had gone to, we would still be able to summon within a minute or two.
Exactly. And you don't even need the full squad to be there. You can have like a few people, like one or two people to go find the Dragon Balls.
I'll give you a perfect example. In Season 1, I ended up having a random survivor game with Demo.
Yeah.
He was also the survivor, and this was on Highland. I think it was against Cell, but I could be wrong. And I think it was him who was summoning, and then the Raider AD'd. And literally, it was just me and him, and we gathered all 7 Dragon Balls within 30 seconds. Just me and him.
Yeah, there you go. Prime example, like you said.
Yeah. So... And the fact that they have it so you can just pick it up just buffed survivors even more, to be honest.
Yeah, that is yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say, I forgot the main point I was trying to make with this, but like, it would be nice if they just implemented a fundamental change for the better that they know is bad at the moment. But it just feels like because the game is made in spaghetti code, it feels like it's impossible.
Yeah, the point that I think you were trying to make to remind you was what is it? Like they never did any game-changing changes. Damn, that's a tongue twister. They never did any of that. The most I don't know if you agree with it, but I think the most like impactful game-changing is the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
You agree with me on that?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I think the Dragon Ball change was the biggest and honestly probably a mistake as well.
Yeah, I mean, they could still change it. They could do some changes to make it better, I guess. But yeah, right now, I still think it's kind of cooked. Like, there's no point in destroying a shrine with Dragon Balls on it. Like, maybe to just delay them and maybe catch them when they're summoning in an area, but that's very iffy. Good luck.
I mean, what I would do is that if they remove the Dragon Ball pickup animation, have it so that you pick up one Dragon Ball at a time from the altar when he's ADing.
Oh yeah, so in exchange for picking up like what 5 Dragon Balls from the shrine, you leave out 2.
Yeah.
And then they have to go out and search again.
Yep.
If they're gonna do that, if they're gonna do that, dude, they have to change the spawn points of the Dragon Balls. They should not go back to the old spawn points of the Dragon Balls. They should change up the areas where they spawn at, make it a lot more random. Make them look for it.
I thought about that, but I'm thinking like we're with randoms here. How bad could that go if they change the spots of the Dragon Balls? That's what I'm thinking here.
I wouldn't say as bad. I mean, it's gonna be a little difficult, admittedly, but I think this is another one of those mechanics where it just needs time. It just needs time for it to be processed within the player base. It needs to be processed, and then people will learn, see how it works, the kinks of it, and yeah, that I guess that's my best take about that. It just needs time. It's a good mechanic, and it needs time. So I don't really know. Yeah, go on.
Do you then think that survivors who go down to AD should be randomized as well then?
Oh yeah, I think so. But
okay,
this is another one of those iffy topics. When it comes to bodies, make it so that it spawns obviously away from the raider and not in a set spawn location. And maybe if they get destroyed by AD, maybe give them more time, or give them a slightly longer bleed out timer. Like if they're getting destroyed in AD, give them like an extra 10 or 20 seconds, depending on what level they got down, because, you know, each level lowers the bleed counter, obviously. But yeah, so if they get downed by a level 1, it's like 90 seconds if they're down. And if they get destroyed by AD, maybe give them an extra 10 seconds, 20 seconds, while also making their spawn point completely random. What do you think about that mechanic?
I think I could be wrong here, but I do remember someone saying that the bleed out timer is different for if you get downed in an AD versus getting killed by the raider. I could be wrong, but I do remember someone pointing it out. I think I do remember noticing it, but I never actually tested it out.
Yeah, that is something we need to test out, because
Yeah.
Because I assumed getting down by AD is like the same as getting down from the raider himself, like a key blast or something.
It's similar, but I can't tell you for sure if it's exactly the same. Because I haven't tested it out, but I have on occasion, when I glanced at it, noticed the timer being different. But I can't verify to you if it's just my brain not working or if there's actually a difference.
Yeah, again, we just need to test this out. I wouldn't mind testing it out soon with you, D.
Yeah, we could definitely get a practice mode tested out. I'm definitely down for that.
For sure. But if we're just talking about you know what we know now, I assume, but if you're like downed already by the raider, and then they AD the area that you're downed in, that's when you think that's what I think you should get extra time. If you're in the area and you get downed by the AD, I think that is this is where we need to experiment on. I don't know if it's the same when they down you normally with the raider himself, or down with the AD.
Okay, I do like the idea of giving them more time if you basically get teleported from an AD when you're already down. I do like that idea. That would probably be a good implementation, especially if they're, you know, technically body camping.
I think that's... I don't think that's, like, gameplay impactful. I think that's... I mean... Not a lot of situations that I've experienced that would happen where they would, like, down people. Actually, no, that's a lie. Quite a few raiders would down, like, 2-3 people. They wouldn't really camp the area. They would actually, like, AD the area. And in fact, I think they should stop your bleed out timer when you're getting AD'd. What do you think about that? When they're ADing
You know
the
what?
area and they stop the timer.
You know what? I'm in favor of that, actually.
I think that's I think that's a very healthy mechanic that they could add, because it makes sense, because camping is well a thing that actually needs to be done sometimes. And if we can, you know, soften the blow on that, then I mean, I'm all for it.
You think body camping is sometimes needed?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
If you're looting the area, or if the person happens to be down in the last zone where that you need to stay, I can understand that, but I can't think of any other reason.
Okay, yeah, that's my reasoning. I don't mean like body camping
okay.
and you're in an area with already a place down key. Like that makes absolutely
Yeah.
no sense. You're wasting valuable time. I'm saying, like you said just now, when they get down to an area you're guarding, then you have to camp that body, because you have to camp that area, because if you don't, yada yada yada, broken record. You know what I mean?
Okay. But how do you how do I phrase this? In your opinion, with all, you know, all our experiences, do you think there is a way we can mitigate body camping, you know, in the toxic manner?
In a toxic manner. Can you give me an example?
But yeah, just say, for example, first person goes down and the raider decides to body camp for no reason, just because he wants to secure the down. Do you think there's a way we could mitigate that?
You know, I don't consider this a band-aid fix. I don't consider this a band-aid fix at all, now that I'm thinking about this. But what if there is a passive for this kind of thing?
Like Dead by Daylight?
Yes. Like an ability. When in Dead by Daylight there is a perk where when you're on the hook, another teammate can run by and stop your timer.
Yep.
Something like that in Breakers.
Yeah.
Admittedly, still they might stay on the ground. But what if they have? Actually, no. What if they have like a borrowed time? Something similar to that, like a borrowed time. What if they, you know, you combo with let me heal you. You have a teammate that distracts the raider, but the raider really wants to get this guy out. They pick him up. They have like a borrowed time to them. Like they already did something similar to it already in the newest banner with Captain Ginyu. My body is stronger. They make him move faster when they get picked up. Although it's a really shitty passive, but you get the idea. Why was so funny?
I get it. Because it's so bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. But it's actually a perfect example of what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if I was able to change whatever I could about this game, I would have sort of so kind of like how the Raiders have a knockback bar.
Right.
I would give the survivors another bar which starts off empty, and it starts filling up if the Raider is close to you when you are dead.
Yeah.
So if it fills up, it means the Raider is staying near you, and if he leaves, then the bar starts depleting. But if you get revived, let's say, while it's full, you have, like you say, the borrowed time effect where you're immune for a certain amount of a certain period.
Yeah.
So I would do something like that.
Okay, I wouldn't say immune, by the way. I wouldn't say immune. You can still get down, but you'll have a little bit of a space to run away from the raider.
Okay, yeah, something like that. I mean, I would do something like that because we want to deter body camping, but at the same time, we don't want to do it in a sort of band-aid fix.
Yeah, and again, I don't encourage. Well, this is talking about body camping in a toxic way, right?
Yeah.
Like disregarding everything about breakers, every other mechanic. It's just body camping, right?
Yeah, just imagine a certain player that we know who would do it if they saw an EF user.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
True, fair enough. Like, then again, there is proxy camping. Do you know what proxy camping is? Do you?
I am well aware. Proxy camping. it depends again if it's in the toxic way. I would still count it as camping.
Yeah, proxy camping is pretty much camping. You're just camping from a distance. Like you're flying around and keeping an eye on the body.
Yeah.
But you're flying like
It's-
high up in the air or something.
It's still camping in my opinion.
It is camping. But I'm just gonna get a little specific here. But when it comes to proxy camping, I think the whole like bar thing that we were talking about with like borrow time and all that, I think will be kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I did think of that, but the only other way to mitigate it would be that. Oh God, how do I say? I can't even think of a proper solution. But if the raider is, let's say, within 150 meters of you, let's say, then the timer goes down slower. How's that? This is not a perfect fix. I know this probably has a lot of loopholes, but this is just something off the top of my head.
No, I actually don't think it's a loophole at all. I mean, we're gonna have to use Dead by Daylight as an example here again. But sometimes when people camp like that in Dead by Daylight, especially, sometimes you need to make the sacrifice, and they have to die in order for everyone else to escape. Otherwise, everyone else is gonna go down and face the same fate as that person down there. So I wouldn't say it's like a band-aid fix or like a what did you say it was? Like a loophole or any of that?
Loophole, yeah.
I think it's like I don't know. It's like it is what it is sort of thing. Like that's such a I don't know how else to explain it. It's like it is what it is thing. So if someone is gonna hard camp a body, it is what it is sometimes, and you can't really do much about it, and it's not within your power anymore. And the best thing you can do is progress the match as aggressively as you can, as much as you can, and get them back in later on in the match when they have zero pressure. You have your D change. You're all level 2 and 3. You're about to summon for a level 4, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I know. See, the annoying thing is that body camping should not be a strategy that works.
I agree.
It should not, but it is. It's like if we take Dead by Daylight to example, you can have the 4 best pre-mates ever. If one of them goes on hook, the other 3 go brain dead. They will immediately stop everything they're doing to try and get the survivor if you're body camping them, or hook camping. And because they do that every time, because they want to always, save their teammate, save their friend, it works in the killer's favor.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be the case. If the social norm was to ignore the survivor, let him die, and everyone else did their objectives, people would not camp because they would know that people lose who camp. And it should be even more prevalent in breakers because it's not 4 people, it's 7. 7 people. You can still win a game if 2 people get camped easily.
Yes.
Because it's the same thing as Dead by Daylight, where if one person goes down, usually at least one person will try to save them, and then they will probably end up going down if the raid is camping.
A snowball effect.
Yes, exactly. A snowball effect, a domino effect. So if it became the social norm where if someone goes down and is getting camped, you let him die, eventually raiders will stop doing that because they will know that by doing that they will lose.
So go on. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just frustration that it's so easy. Just let the person getting camped die. It's unfortunate that he was the chosen one, that he's going to die and get no rewards.
Of course.
But by just letting him go and focusing on doing the keys and the Dragon Balls, you will end up having a much easier game because this raider is just being a dick. Simple. It's just a simple. It's a switch in the brain. Just change the mentality of the game. Like you said, for an example, before the podcast, you said like your brain is hardwired to try and rescue the survivor.
Altruism.
In the example you gave me, if you remember, right?
I
against
Oh, yeah.
remember?
Can you run it by me? Do you remember yourself a little bit?
Remember, we were talking about a certain person who was body camping a player in your pre-made because he used EF,
Yeah.
and you said that you're hardwired to save that.
Oh
to
yeah,
save that
like there's
survivor.
an autopilot in my brain because
Yes,
because they're my
an
teammate
autopilot.
to save them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, in my opinion, that mentality is not helpful in this type of game because everybody shares your mentality. That's why raiders see it as a positive to body camp.
Right.
Because of that autopilot, like you said, where everybody wants to go in and try and rescue it. So like we all have a fairy tale ending and we all win and we all survive.
Live happily ever
Which is-
after. Yeah.
Yeah, which is not realistic, let's be honest.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, in most cases, unless you're a full-on pre-made with comms, someone is usually going to end up dead. At least one person.
Fair.
So if we just changed that, if we instead shifted the autopilot from saving a civilian to doing the keys, doing the Dragon Balls, doing the main objective of the game, which is to do the STM, not to survive,
Mm-hmm.
then I think this would completely eliminate the need of camping.
This seems
This
like
is just my opinion.
no. Yeah. This is like what I said a little bit ago. This is another mechanic that we thought of that
Mhm.
would need to be applied over time. It's going to take time for this sort of thing to be processed by the player base, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once it's down, we can I mean, I'm not iffy about it. I think it's actually well, it makes sense, right? You want to
Yeah.
teach people to not use scummy gameplay that fucks over one person's gameplay, because I hate that. I hate ruining other people's gameplay. That's like my biggest irk.
Yeah.
Whenever I have to camp for an area, I just feel so bad and weird because I know exactly how every other survivor is feeling in that match when I camp as a raider like that. One
Yeah.
area, there's like 2 bodies here. I know exactly what they're feeling. It's a really shitty fucking feeling where you're powerless, you can't do shit, and then once you have the materials, albeit it took them like 7-8 minutes of the match just to wait to get the D change, they know, all right, if this doesn't work, we're done for. We lost everything. This is the whole juice right here. And even if we did get the Dragon Balls, or even if we did get the key, we have nothing at the end. And now we're literally powerless to do anything. We're at the mercy of the supply drops that come down, depending on
Yeah.
how many people are in that match. But you know, yada yada yada. Getting to specifics again.
Mm-hmm.
So that don't get me wrong. I think that mechanic or that sort of training for the
Mhm.
player, I think is very valid, and I think it would be. I don't know if it'd be healthy. Again, we have to let the game do its own thing if that ever becomes a mechanic. But yeah,
I think it would be healthy in the long term. Maybe not in the beginning, because people would probably accuse teammates of, not reviving them and whatnot, and then they would defend themselves saying, "Oh, he was getting camped." But
Yeah.
I think in the long term, once raiders understand that body camping will pretty much guarantee the loss, it will slowly fade out, and then everyone can have, a proper game. That's how I envision it.
yeah, I was actually about to say that. I was gonna say, if that mechanic ever gets implemented, that also means like more quality gameplay, like high-end gameplay for both sides, which I love. I always try to push for both sides to have a good game. Both sides do so well. The Raider doesn't play weirdly. The Survivors play fantastically. We even get Super Time Machine. The Raider is like doing 5-head plays, and so are we, and it's a constant back and forth, and it's so good. I've had those matches, and again, they get the adrenaline pumping, the dopamine going, and it's just a good overall match. Dude, this very nice, sweet guy, this Majibu player I played, wrote a really nice comment to me, and it was a top 5 like best all-around matches I've ever had. Both sides did
Okay.
really well, and it was so much fucking fun. It was an off-stream match too, which is so sad, but yeah, it was such a good match. Yeah, it was off-stream, unfortunately. It was so sad that I wasn't streaming at the time. But yeah, if we can get more matches like that, where we actually teach raiders to not play weirdly or scummy, but in fact go out of their way to be very creative and like, you know, experiment different kinds of play style that doesn't always revert back to camping or just giving up and saying, you know what, I'm gonna camp this area because they're getting all the keys, so what's the point of leaving this area? I'll hard lock down in this area and gatekeep.
Yeah.
That could actually end, and raiders would actually want to go out and be more creative, maybe practice some snipes, maybe utilize the raiders kit a lot more rather than just, you know, sitting back and key spamming and camping an area. And you'd be surprised, right, viewers, you'd be surprised that camping does happen a lot. Not body camping, but key camping. Key camping happens quite a bit, understandably so, right? Understandably so that it happens, because what the hell can the raider do in that situation? The raider and the ideas that we're giving here, I do want other people's opinion on this, so I will be bringing this up if and whenever we bring in guests. But if we can get other people's thoughts about this, I think it'd be fantastic, because I think the ideas we've said here today, I think are like fan-fucking-tastic. I love these ideas. And hopefully, if sorry to cut you off, but if we can get, like, you know, some big names' opinions about these things, then even better.
I mean, we're already the big names. I mean, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Good one, dude. I mean, you're a big name in the EU side, right?
That's a stretch. Is there any other EU streamers?
Not that I know of.
That's a fair point. I don't actually know if... Oh, okay, no, there are other EU streamers. It's just... I don't know if there are any other decently sized EU streamers.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I apologize if there's anyone out there that I forgot.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
yeah, it's mostly NA as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, but what were you gonna say before? You were gonna say something, but I sadly cut you off.
No, I agree with if we could get rid of camping in general of any kind, that would be great.
Or minimize it.
Minimize it too. I think the idea of having 4 keys needed to be done instead of 5 would eliminate key camping.
And the raider being able to pick up the key, right?
That's not necessary, but that would be a cool implementation.
Yeah.
To be added.
Fair enough, yeah.
And what we discussed of body camping, I think in the long term would also work, but that would require a change in mentality.
Definitely.
So,
That's a long-term change. That would be done.
That is a long-term change. So this is in an ideal world, but yeah, if we could eliminate this, we would honestly... Breakers would be the first asymmetrical game in history to probably do this, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Because this exists in every asymmetrical game that I can think of.
Yeah, they don't really have many things that sort of not really counter exactly, but go against camping, because in asymmetrical games, like you said, camping is I think is pretty big, a big thing, whether good or bad in a game, in an asymmetrical game.
Yeah.
Because it's always doing an objective.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone has an objective, and if the big bad person, the big bad thing in that asymmetrical sees that objective being done, right? Why would they leave that objective?
Yeah.
Why would they just stop them? That's their job to stop it, right? That's their job.
Yep.
So yeah.
You know, I thought of one more thing about body camping. What if you have it so that the longer that the raider is like, let's say we'll call it hard body camping. So let's say within 100 meters, you call that hard body camping?
I think hard body camping is like staying afloat in like 70-meter range, like 50 to 70. But yeah, we'll go with 100.
Okay, yeah. So within a certain range that we can discuss, uh, the what is it? The revive bar slowly goes up for the survivor. So
So it's
if
like
the
an
raider is body camping for too long, then another survivor just has to come and give them a quick tap for them to be revived. Kind of like how survivors in Dead by Daylight, you can fill up the bar when you're down.
yeah,
It would
okay.
be the same.
That
Mm-hmm.
mechanic would be okay, but I think that's an optional objective because they're gonna down you. Well, do you want to have that bar when they get the energy from you, when they like down you themselves, like go up to you
Uh,
and
no, no, no. When you're like dead. Yeah, after they got your energy from you. Yeah.
okay, then I don't think it should be like either half or a little bit less than. I'm not going past more than half if that's gonna be a thing, because we already have quite a few skills that kind of complement healing stuff, healing people. So
That's true,
I
but this is just like again, like I said, for hard camping.
oh
So
right,
like for
I didn't
people,
take that into account.
yeah. So it's only for those who hard camp that this ends up being a mechanic.
Okay, then yeah, half. That's as far as I'm gonna go, half, because I don't want to. Hard camping really sucks. It's really shitty, and
Mm-hmm.
it's such a stupid thing to do. But I don't want to like completely cuck over the raider, because, well, think about it. What if it's like accidental camping? What if the people decide to fight the raider near them for no reason, and the raider can't do anything about it because, well, I mean, they're
Well,
fighting
I
near
mean,
him.
okay. Well, first of all, this bar would go up slowly, so it's not like it would be done instantly.
Fair enough, yeah.
And the survivor can, the raider could end up downing the survivor who was ever close by. And if the raider leaves the area to pursue them, the bar can go back down.
Hmm.
Again, this is just an implementation, an idea, but do you think this would work in favor at the very least, this idea? So it would work, basically, it would mitigate a bit of camping.
Hmm.
Or do you think this would end up being too broken and abused?
No, I wouldn't say it'd be broken or abused. It's just I don't. That's something I have to think about because well, I feel like I shouldn't really have to think about it. It's just, again, I don't want to keep giving survivors more and more things. You know, I
Well,
do.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So, no, I was going to say, like, obviously, like, if something like this implemented, there would need to be a balanced rework in general. But like I said, like, I have like 100 changes in my head that I would do for both Survivor and Raiders. So this is just another thing that would fit into the 100. So just doing this by itself would not make sense. That I would get.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It by itself. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at. But I mean, if we're gonna implement all the changes that we're saying and add it to the pile, then yeah, actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind that if we implement the stuff that we were saying. Obviously, the stuff that we were saying aren't like, I don't want to seem like what we're saying right now is like the greatest idea, because who knows? What if all the ideas we're saying is like the worst fucking idea we've ever done, and it actually could fuck over the game entirely. So you never know.
Not fucked over already though, but okay.
No, the game's been fucked over, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna end it off here.
Sounds good.
For sure, yeah. This is like the longest episode we've done today. Actually.
I'm sure you're gonna have a great time with this episode.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for the stream. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you, Double D, for
Of course.
being here, man, and being my partner in all this.
No worries. It's the job of the co-host to entertain the host and the audience.
And one up the host. Make the host look smart.
It does. If I one up the aren't I the smart one and I make you look dumb?
Huh?
I mean that I'm one-upping you. That's what you said, right?
No, you're one-upping me. No,
Yeah.
no, okay, I worded that wrong. I meant like, you make me look good. You're making me look good. Okay, dude, Jesus Christ, man.
I think we understand, folks. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
this is like carnation, man. I need to get a new co-host, man.
I'm actually curious. Yeah, will we actually look stupid when we bring other people on, or will we actually be smart enough to convince them that we're right and they're wrong?
Well, we're not gonna convince anyone. We're just gonna give our takes, and then they give their takes about that take, and then their opinions and stuff.
I mean, but convince. It's not like we're gonna ram our opinion down their throats. No, it'll just be like, we make a point, they argue it, we counter argue it, and then they go, "Oh, you're right."
Fair enough, yeah.
Like, how many people can we convince that we're right and they're wrong?
Okay, when you word it like that, I mean, when you word it like that,
Okay.
it just sounds like we're trying to pin them here. We're trying to catch them in a little goof there.
I know. I am more interested though to see people who can actually convince me that my ideas are wrong, because I'm very I believe quite a bit in some of the stuff I've said. So if someone can come on and then tell me that I'm wrong and then like prove it to me, that would be a nice revelation for me.
That, not only a revelation, but a fantastic discussion. I like that kind of discussion. When people disagree with each other and they don't instantly backpedal to insults. That's like one of the best discussions that isn't around in this world anymore. If you disagree with someone,
you can have a discussion without insulting someone? Really?
I know, right? That's crazy. Look, between me and you, it's a hidden mechanic in Earth.
Oh, damn, I've been doing this wrong my whole life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it changes people's lives when people disagree and they don't insult each other right off the get-go.
Oh, shit, I gotta go make a few phone calls. There's a lot of people that podcast too. Fuck.
Fair enough. Yeah, me too, man. I gotta make a few phone calls, but yeah, I think that kind of discussion would be fantastic. I would be nice for people to just come in here, tell me that I'm wrong. They say I'm wrong. Here's why you're wrong. Not just you're wrong and you just are wrong. Pal, too bad. Skill issue, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Reddit is really brain dead.
Definitely, that would be a very interesting discussion. But that's why we need to also be pretty selective of who we bring on.
Oh yeah, no. Don't worry, I already have a list lined up. Trust me, I already have a list lined up.
Okay.
For sure.
I'll trust you with that list.
Trust me. Once you see the list, I'll let you know. Give me your thoughts on it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can check me out at twitch.tv/JojoKev.
Oh, now you're plugging.
Yes. Now I'm plugging. Yes, now I'm plugging. Yes, now I'm plugging.
What changed?
I don't know. I mean, I really want this podcast to boom, and if I can get some sort of, listen, people change their minds, Double D. Is that a terrible thing? Right. People change their minds.
No. It's just that you were like so adamant on like, oh, I don't like self-plugging, I don't like self-promotion.
Yeah, and I still think it's cringe.
A week later, you're like, oh, catch me out of JoJo Kev. I mean, it's just okay.
Yeah, and I still think it's cringe.
I mean, I'm not
okay. You're making me look like I'm like greedy or something, dude. Jesus Christ, man! Can you call me out anymore? Jesus Christ, man!
No. All I want to say is welcome to my side.
Welcome to yeah. No, for sure. I still think it's very cringe. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna do it.
Cringe. Yeah, I mean, we have to do it. That's the whole point. It's like we need to self-promote because, like you said, if this does well, where the fuck are they gonna find us if we don't plug?
Exactly. That exactly. Yeah. Well, not exactly my thinking, but it's part of it.
Yeah, we gotta plug. It's the whole. It's
marketing. Yeah. Double D. When you word it like this makes me. That made me look really good now. What you said before.
I mean, this is essentially what it is. Everything I was saying before, I was just teasing you. But yeah, this is essentially what YouTube is. This is what Twitch is.
Yeah.
It's a whole marketing business. It's a whole marketing scheme. You have to link them. You have to promote.
Yeah,
that's just business.
And what I was thinking when I changed my mind about this is, if I self-plug. I do gain views. New viewers that are completely oblivious to me are being like, yo, this guy has quite a few views. Let's give him a fair shot. He looks at it, he sees my stream, and then he sees, yo, this guy does a podcast, and then it's like feeding each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
People that are new to the podcast know that I have a Twitch and will go to my Twitch. People that are new to my Twitch see that I have a podcast and go to my podcast. So that's kind of the reason why I changed my mind. So yeah, sorry for changing my mind. I know that's crazy in this society that people change their minds.
I mean, look, why do you think I had my Twitch name in game for so long? For this exact reason. So people see me in game, they come to my Twitch and maybe to my YouTube.
That's crazy that I never done that.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I do. You think I liked having TTV the_double_D? No, it's a fucking ugly name. I fucking hated it, but I did it specifically for promotion and marketing reasons, because you gotta do stuff like that if you want to spread your name.
That is fair. That is fair. Well, thanks for not making me look like a fucking weirdo now.
No, now you are normal. You weren't before.
Wait, what was I before?
Before you weren't self-plugging, you weren't promoting, you were just you didn't have the entrepreneurship mindset. Now you're like, I don't give a shit. I'm promoting myself everywhere, which is what you need.
Okay, dude. I don't think I'm not thinking of it like that. I think the only time I will ever do that kind of cringe self-plug is here, the podcast. Because
I'll give it time. It took you a week to change your mind. You'll change your mind in other things.
Oh, no shot. I'm not gonna look. Maybe I'll plug somewhere else. Maybe. I don't know. But for now, my main like actual self-plug that I will do is like here at the podcast, because I will be attracting like, you know, Dragon Ball Z viewers as well. The people that don't even know breakers exist. You know? So I do want to be part of the Dragon Ball Z community as well, if possible.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Chat, give him a month, and then you'll see his in-game name change to Jojo Kev. Just saying.
Wait, chat? Who's chat? Use chat.
See, look, I'm in Twitch.
You're still in Twitch mode. You're still in Twitch. I'm not.
I'm still...
Listen, ladies and
viewers,
gentlemen of the
fine.
viewers. Yeah. Don't worry.
Fine.
I will address you viewers as you normally should be, not chat.
Okay, look. If we end up ever doing a live stream on YouTube, then I can call it chat. All right.
All right, fair enough. Maybe, who knows? One day we'll do like a live stream podcast. One day of just us just talking.
Yeah, we could.
That'd actually be fun. I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, it would take a lot because we would have to gain a lot of traction on YouTube for us to not do it on Twitch.
No. I was thinking we do it on Twitch.
Oh, okay. I'm talking like about an actual YouTube live stream of the
No,
podcast,
not a YouTube live
on
stream.
YouTube.
Yeah, not a YouTube live cast. A Twitch live cast of a podcast. And then we can just upload it from there, yeah.
We could actually. I mean, if we get enough hype, then we might get people interested.
I mean, I just want to do it for the funsies. I'm having a lot of fun with this podcast. I really am.
No, likewise, man.
Because, dude,
glad you enjoy it.
Like, I'm not saying that we're like unique or anything, but you know, is anyone else doing a Breakers podcast?
Breakers, definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I would say we're kind of unique in that aspect, but we're just like any other podcast. You know what I mean? We're not doing anything game
We're nothing special. We're nothing special yet.
Yeah, we'll be special in our own way eventually once, you know, we both feel it, because right now I'm just having fun with this. We don't really have like a definitive 100% concrete schedule about this, but yeah. Anyways, wow, this went on much longer than expected.
A tad. All right. It's worth it.
For sure. This was really fun.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyways, you want to do a shameless plug on your channel as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, if you insist.
Okay. No self-plug for Double D then.
Oh, fuck off. You can find me on my Twitch page, the_double_D. Also, the full name is the Double D. And yeah, my YouTube is just plain Double D UK. You can find some podcasts and some old videos there. Yeah, that's it from me.
And once again, you could just find me at twitch.tv/JojoCat. Anyways, I will see you guys some other time. See ya.
Bye.